I don't want to use this because I need to. Whoa. Hi guys, I'm trying to get on this TikTok again today. I did the face modification last week. Trying to get on this to this evening. It's like the fourth time I tried to log in. So if it does not work this time, it's curtains. It's not registering. I don't know why. Hey, Miss Audrey, how you doing? I hate when I get new apparatuses. Yeah, just close it. I'll deal with that tomorrow. Again, new tablet, the thing is not working. I am not very tech savvy, which is super important when you're doing live, right? Super important. Super, super important. But I am here. We will think about, again, TikTok next week. It's telling me to log back on and I'm not going to do it. My patience has run short. So good evening, everyone. We are on part 2 of last week's topic. Are you stuck or do you feel stuck? And I'm going to talk about behaviors. And if you're feeling stuck, how to get unstuck. Or if you're dealing with somebody that's stuck, how can you help them? And then I'm going to say help them and them not be a hindrance to you. Because oftentimes people can be a hindrance when they're feeling stuck, or you can be enabling somebody when they're feeling stuck. So I'm about to do our midweek check-in. I put the feelings chart up today, but I didn't put up how I was feeling. Okay, what you're not gonna do? Let's keep making all these noises. So let's just turn you off. Power off. There's something wrong with you. I did not put on here how I was doing today. The lines today. Listen, I'm a talker. I love to talk, but I talk for a living. Really, I talk for a living. So the lines today were blowing up. Every time I hung up, there was another call. Every time I hung up, there was another call. And one call was not less important than the other call. So I had to put my operator boots on and operate the lines today. So it was a really busy day. I did put up the midweek check-in, but I never put up with how I felt. So if I had to choose, um, I'm not gonna say I had a poopy day. I didn't. I really didn't. All right, now choose. Here we go. If I had to choose, my midweek check-in would be a white emoji heart. The white emoji heart saying that you had mixed moods, mixed feelings. You wanted to do minimum today, but you did your average. That's me. I wanted to do minimum, but I did average, and I'm just having a lot of mixed emotions right now. There is a lot going on, not just in the world, but in my home, in my family, in my career, uh, my health. But you know, you can see I let my hair down today, and it's in these two-stranded twists. I'm not a hair person, y'all. I really am not. That's why you would never see these locks get really long, because once they get to half back, I cut them. This is the longest my hair. No, not yet. Not yet. But I can't stand it being down. So let's go ahead and go through our midweek check-in real quick. If you guys are doing great, you can give me some red heart emojis. If you're doing great, red heart emojis. If you're doing okay, this is blue. This is a blue heart emoji. It's not a purple one, it's blue. But if you're doing okay, put a blue heart emoji up there. Yellow heart emoji. If you're doing math, whatever Bart says. If you're doing math. The green heart emoji is saying that your things are tough and you're struggling. Put the green heart emoji up there. If things are tough and you're struggling, put the green heart emoji up there. This is purple. Purple is saying you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if someone was to reach out to you. If you're having a hard time, if you wouldn't mind if somebody was to reach out to you, put the purple emoji hearts up there. I check my DMs all the time. And I'll reach back out to you. I'll give you some information. This is the broken heart emoji. The broken heart emoji. If you're in a really dark place, put the broken heart emoji up there. This is the pink heart emoji. If you're having harmony and balance in your life, I was here maybe 2 weeks ago. Balance and harmony in your life, put the pink heart emoji up there. The orange heart emoji is if you're feeling optimistic and uplifting. This was me last week. I got a lot done. I felt good. My back wasn't against the wall with anything. Feeling optimistic and uplifting. Put the orange heart emoji up there. I did not have a day like this. I'm not claiming it. I'm not claiming it. If you're having a day like this, put the brown heart emoji up there. A day like this, brown heart emoji. We do have days. Baby, don't tell me about it. We have them days. We do. White heart emoji, minimum things, mixed emotions. You got things done that was average today. Mixed emotions, minimalist, average day. My girl Miss Carter will be up here. Sometimes she give me the gray emoji. If you're feeling cool, suffer strength, and you mix it with some humbleness, you could have cracked some backs, snapped some necks, but you humbled yourself out because Jesus said don't do that. Gray heart emoji, cool, suffer strength, and some humbleness. Put that heart emoji up there. This is the light blue heart emoji if you're feeling friendly and relaxed. I want to get to this by Friday. Friendly and relaxed. Black heart emoji. That black heart emoji is for if you are having some sadness and some anger. This is the one I like to really pay attention to. And people always say, why, Kimble? Because if you don't deal with these, the rest of them are going to come around and it's going to be a bomb. So sadness and anger, we can always talk about here on this line. And our last heart emoji is the flaming heart. If you're feeling frustrated, put the flaming heart emoji up there. If you're feeling frustrated, put the flaming heart emoji up there. Okay, what we doing over here though? Okay, I don't know what that was. All right, so last week I discussed, are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling stuck? Do you feel stuck? And what happens when you do? And I went over a lot of things. Common causes of being stuck last week were fear of changes, lack of clarity, feeling burnt out, some internal conflict, being overwhelmed. Common expressions that we ended with last week, I think, was I'm going through the emotions. I'm stuck for words or stuck on this problem. I feel trapped in my career or I'm in a rut. So today we're going to be talking about and ending this feeling stuck or being stuck. We're going to be talking about the behavior, the indicators of feeling stuck. But again, I just want to paraphrase. Hey, Miss Carla, how are you? I just want to paraphrase some of the stuff that we went over last week, just for the viewers. And it's not a lot. It's going to sound a little bit different, but that's okay. Now, YouTube is acting up. Listen. I gotta drink a lot of water, guys. I'm not back at my whole gallon. Hey, Muff, listen. That phone today, baby. When you called me, I was on a really important call. I was telling Tamara about the call before she left. When we do third, what they call it? Third party calls. Someone else is calling somebody about a crisis, and this person did a third party call, but they didn't want to give us enough information. I'm like, well, we doing a wellness check means somebody going to your house and checking on you face to face. We can't do a wellness check without an address. And this person took me through the ringer. Then I had a mom calling about her son. She didn't know where he was, and I told her we couldn't give her no information, which we can't through HIPAA. We can't confirm or deny. Even if the person called earlier, if they went through dispatch, we just can't confirm or deny it through the HIPAA law. And she, what am I going to say? I was hearing a new hole in you or something. This lady literally told me off. And I was like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I apologize. You don't have to apologize. I want to know where my son is. So my day was up a roller coaster. And my baby girl usually comes over on Wednesdays to talk to me and spend her day with me when she's off. So she came over, and her dog came over to her fur baby. And so Zeus finally had somebody to tackle with today. But their phone, I couldn't get a hold of you. And I had to cook dinner. Not for me, for them. Wednesdays is a hard day, a rough day. Hey, Van, how you doing this evening? So let me go over some stuff. This is part 2 to feeling stuck or feeling like you're stuck or being stuck. We did say those were 2 different things. So feeling stuck can happen for so many reasons. Living in a situation that isn't great. You're stressed about money. You don't feel supported by people that surround you. Feeling pressure to hide who you are. That's a big one in 2026. Dealing with grief or trauma, making every day feel like a struggle. Emotional suffering, personality changes, being agitated, angry, anxious, moody, withdrawing, neglecting self-care, and feeling hopelessness. That's all encompassed into feeling stuck. So it can be a whole array of things of when you're feeling stuck. Life stressors, circumstances, transitions, kids, money, bank issues, mortgage issues, pressures of the world, social media pressures. You don't have enough likes, you don't have enough followers. All those things can get you into that rut. So feeling stuck is a sense of being frozen in place. Remember we talked about the fight, flight, or freeze. So feeling stuck is a sense of being frozen in place, leading to behaviors of chronic rumination. And we talked about rumination all the way last year, but I'm going to give you a definition of rumination. It's the habit of obsessively, repetitively replaying negative past experiences or worrying about the future. It's about uncontrollable events or a mental loop, like Groundhog Day. Have you ever seen the movie Groundhog Day? The guy wake up, he has something to do, and he wake up the next day and it's the same thing. He wake up the next thing. That's what those ruminating thoughts are. A bad experience, something that happened, and now you're worried about it. You're excessive over it. It's uncontrollable. So a mental loop is often causing high anxiety, sometimes depression. Why can't this be fixed? Why did I do that? This should have went this way. All those thoughts. And significant distress by focusing on the why, as I just said. Things rather than finding solutions. So you're focusing on the why rather than finding or problem solving a solution. So some common triggers of rumination is high stress, traumatic events, and it has my favorite word on here that I learned from myself when I went to my therapist is perfectionism. Not OCD, perfectionism. And with perfectionism, I found out today that with perfectionism, you want to control everything. And that's because part of your life probably felt out of control. There were some things that you did, some choices that you made that was not in your control. And now perfectionism, you want to make sure you stay in control. So you're controlling part of your life, maybe your kid's life, your wife's life, your husband's life, probably things that work. Maybe that's a supervisor that's not really a supervisor, that's acting like a supervisor but not getting paid as a supervisor. And fear of uncertainty. Now I can say for the alpha kids out there, that's my grandson's generation, that's the alpha generation. They have, and he's about to be 15. My God. Fear of uncertainty. Because the way they see the world now, it's going to be hard for them to get jobs. It's going to be hard for them to make a good living. It's going to be hard for them to either buy a home, pay a mortgage, or rent an apartment because everything is so expensive. Hard for them to shop, hard for them to, do. So they have a fear of uncertainty, like, why, what am I going to do? How am I going to make money? How am I going to survive? And they don't get the kids to trying to do their best. Now, the behaviors of feeling stuck. And one of them is procrastination. So I'm going to read them all off. Procrastination and avoiding decision making, if it often manifests as a lack of motivation, emotional exhaustion, and repeating unproductive patterns or habits. You also have physical lethargy. Irritability and social withdrawal are common indicators of that state of feeling stuck. Muffin said her son talks about it all the time. Yes. I tell him, like, I'm thinking they're moving into, and this is only what I've heard, it's nothing solid. They're moving into trying to get kids to go to college for free. They have college classes now for some people in high school. So by the time they get to college, those credits or that time is not spent with the mundane things of college, like your English, your math, all those things that you have to go through, your basic stuff for college level kids. They're trying to get them through it in high school now. So by the time they get there, they can, they won't have that many student loans. And that's the thing. A lot of people, I'm still paying off student loans. Uncle Sam getting me both ways. So some behavior indicators is, again, repeating unhealthy patterns, engaging in habits you dislike, such as overeating. I'm laughing because I've been doing it all week. When I'm fidgety, I eat too much or I snack a lot. When I'm mad or I'm upset, I'm cleaning. Everybody likes that. Everybody likes when you're mad, upset, you're cleaning. Or when I'm anxious, I'm talking out what's in my mind. So when you get home or when they get home, I won't say the wrong things to them when we're trying to have an adult conversation. So repeating unhealthy patterns, engaging in habits you dislike, such as overeating, doom scrolling on your cell phone or your tablet or whatever you're doing, or self-destructive behaviors. One of the behaviors of feeling stuck is lack of motivation. Lack of motivation and purpose is what it says. And that's a general apathy towards daily tasks and a feeling of just going through the motions or existing rather than living. And that's our motto. That's um, my just do it slogan, from surviving to living. When you're going through tragedy, mental health crisis, trauma, witness trauma, or trauma, individual trauma, and you haven't processed it, you haven't healed from it, or you haven't gotten treatment from it, you're just surviving in the world, not really living. So there's also an emotional disconnection and withdrawal that comes with feeling stuck. You feel numb, detached from yourself or detached from others, or withdrawing and socially. So you can be hanging out with all your girlfriends or hanging out, at a gathering, and everybody's talking, everybody's around, and you don't hear any of the conversation going on. Your mind is somewhere else. Hey, Dom, your mind is somewhere else. You have the uncertainty, fear. Listen, I got some cool stuff to tell you about how to deal with this. Your mind is somewhere else. That emotional disconnection. And so you probably don't even remember the night, where you went, what the so-called night event was. You're just all over the place. Your mind is somewhere else. You're socially withdrawn, detached. Another behavior for feeling stuck is being defensive or fearful. So you'll have actions reacting with fear or anger to change, or acting out in a fight or flight manner. A lot of people are right there, being on the defense. You can't tell somebody, you can't give someone constructive criticism. You can't tell someone about their children. You can't tell these kids about their children. A school called me today, a 6-year-old male. You can hear him in the background screaming, "Get off of me, get off of me." And I'm like, what set him off? He didn't want to go in the lunchroom to eat. So in my mind, maybe what y'all was serving him, he didn't want. But this child also has autism. And so if we're going out to do assessments on kids, the parent always have to be there. And mom was on the phone and she's like, "What do I have to do?" Well, you actually have to get to the school to sign some consents for us to even first talk to your son. Mom was upset. I don't know where she lived at, because I was on the phone, I think, with the school counselor, and mom was already at the school. And I'm like, I didn't even do the report yet to send mobile crisis out. Mom was like, "Y'all can't take care of my son. Y'all don't have him with a one-on-one." She was going off. Because in her mind, they're telling her that she's an unfit mom. And in her in the school minds, they're telling her that we don't have the resources to take care of your child. And they wanted him to get evaluated. And mom said she already did that. So I told them, I said, "We can't come out there. Doesn't sound like she want care or services." And the lady was like, "I'm just keeping you on the phone to try to see if she's going to change her mind." So being defensive, or those fearful actions relating to fear or anger, to change, or acting out in a fight or flight manner. That's a very impulsive person, I would say. Be careful with them type of people. And this can be somebody in your family that's very defensive and on the brink. They how they react and respond to you is really sharp, it's really quick, and it's really abrupt. Sometimes it's funky, it smells the way you get your answer from people. And I say, don't let that transference of their behavior or their mood come onto you. And I'll tell you how to deal with that person in a minute. Now, to break this state Experts say the state of feeling stuck. Experts say, have them do small manageable steps, but we're not even going to get there yet to how to break these things. Okay. We're not even going to get there yet. Because I remember last time I stopped at a certain part. So there's a 24-hour rule for emotions. Because remember, feeling stuck is, you're completely, what it says, have been limited by emotional and psychological factors. So the 24-hour rule for emotions is pause before reacting to upsetting situations. Now, if I was on the phone with the mom with the 6-year-old child, I would probably got her to talk to me like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Instead of telling her that her child was out of control. They was like, you don't hear him in the back? And she's a mom. Like, okay, well, my child is at school. You guys are supposed to give him certain services, and you're not giving my child these services. Hey, Ms. Lopez. So, again, the 24-hour rule for emotions is pause before reacting to upsetting situations. And I know that's easier said than done, but we can practice this. Allowing intense feelings to subside so you can respond more rationally and thoughtfully, preventing impulsive words or actions you might regret. I've learned that. I learned that how to stop, think. What I'm going to say out of my mouth is going to cut. I know I'm a cutter. What I'm going to say out of my mouth, what I'm thinking and what I'm going to say out of my mouth is going to be very hurtful. And in the situation that you're probably in with conversation, I said this a lot of times. If you have a ball and you kind of throw the ball at the wall and it comes back at a nice speed, but if you start throwing that ball hard at the wall, it's going to come back to you the same way. That's how our receptors are when we're getting communicated to. If you're coming to somebody saying, listen, I have a problem with you, I need to talk to you, they already have it in their mind. Something's going wrong, and I'm not up to par. I'm worthless. I'm always doing something wrong. I can never get things right. And what you're about to give them, they're not going to receive it. So allowing intense feelings to subside so you can respond more rationally. We do this with our kids when we say, you got to take a time out. Because if you ask the kid what's wrong, they still giving you the tantrum, flipping out, and now you're mad because you can't understand them and you want to help them. So we do this with our children when we say, take a time out. You go over there and sit in the corner for a while. Or go sit down until I come to you. We got to also do that with ourselves. Especially because everybody in the world now has some type of stress, has witnessed trauma, has been through trauma, has some type of mental health illness, according to the media. Because every time I see somebody on the news that has been robbed, shot, or murdered, someone with mental health has done these crimes, which boils my blood. Because that's one of the negative stigmas about someone dealing with mental health issues, is that they're criminals, they're killers, which is not true. So respond more rationally and thoughtfully, preventing impulsive words or actions you might regret. When you say something, you can't take those words back. Can't take them back. Even if you apologize, that person can accept your apology, but they still remember. They always say what they say, having one up on one person. Because I'm going to put that in my memory now. Just in case we have an argument, because I still got stuff in my memory from 1999. When I see that person, remember you did this to me? You was a bully. You bullied me in school? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We do stuff like that. We keep those memories. What you have to do is reduce impulsivity, meaning doing without thinking. Slow and think before you speak or take a break. Listen. I have the pause downstairs. I don't know. It's on the refrigerator. I have the pause. Is a thing that you do when you're when somebody's taking you there. I can say they taking you there. So reducing impulsivity, and this is the thing, prevents saying and doing things. These are the things that you can prevent saying or do when someone is real impulsive or their emotions running real high, they feel stuck. This says the heat of the moment. So I wouldn't talk to them in the heat of the moment because, again, they're not going to register anything they're going to say. Their defenses is already up. The fences is up. They're not going to get nothing done. So let's table it. I was reading today, the silent treatment is abuse. And I was looking at that like, wow, because I kind of do that. My silent treatment is you said something to me. I said something to combat what you said. Now we're both mad. And I don't want to talk to you because you might say something back to me. And then it's not going to get anywhere. We're not communicating. So I will shut it down. Let you go to your mutual corner, and I'm in my mutual corner. Now, I might come out my corner and wave my little flag, or white flag. Okay, I apologize. You know, we got off on the wrong foot. There was mixed messages. Let's come again and talk about this issue. Or we talked about boundaries. If you're setting a boundary, you would say, listen, we already discussed this problem. It's still an issue. Nothing's changing. But then again, the person in their mind is going to think that something's wrong with them when you're saying that nothing's changing. You had already had this discussion. So I always use I statements. I wish we could come up with a better way for us to talk to each other without your tone being the way your tone is, and then me reacting that way. What do you think? It works with some people, and some people it doesn't work with. Just depends. But it increases getting clarity, which helps you see the situation more objectively, not just through an emotional lens. When your emotions is running high and somebody got you chopped or somebody got you angry and now your whole day may be that way, you can't see clearly. You're not even thinking. You might have been in a grocery store and forgot what you was going to the grocery store for. You might have been talking to somebody on the phone and somebody rudely interrupted you, and now your conversation on the phone is going to be not going to be pleasant. Let me call you back because this person just got on my nerves, and now you want to go finish the argument and conversation with them. So when you are stopping and kind of thinking about what you're doing, it gives you some time to clear your thoughts and revisit it later. But you know what, Mom? Some people don't want to revisit it later because those are the people that everybody knows acts that way. Oh, that's the way they are. So when you come back to them and say, can we talk about what happened? Nah, I don't want to talk about that. We done with that, dog. We through. And you might say, this is the problem now. We're not going to solve anything. Nothing's going to get done. Well, that's on you. I'm good. How do you set a boundary with that person? Nothing's getting through with them. Depending on who they are, I would say step back. Clearly step back. Remember your boundary that you have with them. If this is a friend, a sister, a coworker, a neighbor, your spouse, your children, that's 5 people. Depending on the relationship, you step back. Remember your boundaries that you have with them. What are your expectations for that person? And what are you requiring for that person for y'all to interact? Let them know your expectations, your requirements, and re-give them that boundary. And if they can't follow that, listen, in 2026, I'm not arguing with people. I will cut you off. Last year, people, I almost had a stroke. So stressed out, trying to keep a job, trying to get the house, dealing with that. My dad is not really here. My mom's gone. My marriage this. My daughter that. Trying to take care of everybody else and control everybody else's situation. And poor Kimble over here, blood pressure was sky high. Migraines was going crazy. And I'm just working. Going to work, going to church, going to community things, doing. Yeah, set a boundary, and how you going to deal with the person moving forward. Yeah. The adage in people's mind is, oh, that's how they are, won't change. Oh, you know that's how Shantae is. Yeah, girl, she not gonna keep coming at me like that. Well, you know how that's how Bruce is at work, your coworker. Okay, but Bruce ain't my supervisor. Matter of fact, he not a supervisor. He ain't gonna come at me like that. We can't accept that's how they are, because our children grow up to be adults. And if we accepted how little Johnny was, having temper tantrums because he didn't get no sugar, no candy, he couldn't go outside, he couldn't have no screen time. Now Johnny's an older adult, and Johnny want to do what he want to do. He want to come to work when he want to come to work. He want to leave when he want to leave. He want to work when he want to work. And you like, well, who raised this child? Stuff happens when we're small. And if you don't stump them things out when you're small, and if somebody don't think they have a problem when they're Johnny's age, hello. The next one is, when you're setting a boundary, it strengthens regulation and builds your capability to manage strong emotions over time. Like the lady that was on the phone today screaming at the school counselor. I was like, well, ma'am, do you think she want to talk to me? She said she don't even want to come in my office right now. I'm like, okay, well, does she have other services for her son? What services have y'all offered her son? Because I clearly hear her saying he's supposed to have a one-on-one and he doesn't have it right now. I said, tell her she can go home, get comfortable with her child, get her child together, and we can also come to her house and do an assessment. Because right now she just want to take her son home and be done with you people. They become unhealed adults. And Muffin, listen, honey. My topic for next week is unheard cries, living with hidden scars. All those people that went through trauma, all those people that probably went through abuse and don't even think it happened, or push that thing so far down in their thought process. Oh, I had a problem, but that was back in the day. But you never dealt with it. You're bleeding on people. You're bleeding on people. Those hidden scars. So that's going to be my topic next week. Trauma, domestic violence, child abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse. All those abuses I'm going to be talking about next week. And that might be a part 2, part 3 series. There's a lot of people don't think they went through trauma. Witnessing domestic violence in your home. How these kids now witness adults being high on the street, passed out, and you got to walk over somebody. That child, that person looked dead. Last week I was coming home, driving. You know it's cold outside. Knife and Pike. Yeah, because I used to live at Knife and Pike. There's someone on the ground. I'm like, is that person even moving? I'm at a stoplight. I'm like, is that person even moving? Their pants is hanging down. They got their coat on, but they don't look like they moving. They don't look like they breathing. And there's people in the corner. There's a deli right there. There's a laundromat right there. There's a store right there. And on the next corner right there, this might be my old neighborhood, so I know, is a Chinese store. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know if that person's dead or not. The light turns green, so you know we're in Philly. You got to move your car. They beat me. And I'm like, I'm about to call the cops. Called the cops. There's someone at Knife and Pike laying on the ground. They possibly unresponsive. I don't know if they're dead or alive. And the dispatcher was like, we got a call. We just had a call like that. You sure that's at Butler or Pike? I said, it's at Knife and Pike. They're on the corner where the deli is. So it used to be a bar at Knife and Pike. It's a deli now. It's a deli. It's not a laundromat. It's a dry cleaners. And across the street is a corner store. And on across the street here is a Chinese store. I'm driving down the street and they was just sitting there like nothing was going on. I'm like, they didn't even see if the person, they probably knew the person. I don't know. But if I'm driving past, or I'm walking past somebody on the ground and they're not moving and it was cold outside, I'm like, are they dead? Like, what's going on? Let me see what my lady over here is saying. I had a rough day today, and so did my best friend, but her days was a serious spiritual attack. And what you're speaking about, sorry for not speaking less, getting food, but listening. And you spilled your food. I'm sorry, Ms. Lopez. Pray for me that the West Spot. I'm sorry, Ms. Lopez. She said, I'm trying to listen to you eat at the same time. But those things get kids normal to people dying or passing out. Like they playing their video games. What is the video game that you have to rob people and steal cars to get points? And then Halo 1 and 2. That's the video game where you're a special ops person and you're going in to shoot people and kill people. Your kids are playing these games. And they grow up and they don't know that these games are not real. And so when they find a gun in a house and they go pow and they shoot somebody, oh my God, they got blood coming out their body. It gets them desensitized. So if you kind of can control yourself, and that's what I'm saying. Remember, I said in 2026, this is the year that you're going to be accountable for yourself. God is telling you to control yourself. God is telling you to mind your business. Don't spill nobody's tea. Don't look over there and talk about what your grandma did, what I did. Pay attention to you. You don't want to pick up nobody's dirty laundry, nobody other's drama, their problems. So if you're able to kind of get yourself into a place where you can regulate, and again, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I was just there. Could have almost killed somebody over the weekend. I know it's hard. So if you're able to do that, it strengthens your regulation and it builds your capacity when these things happen again to manage those strong emotions over time. And that's why I tell people it's good when you go to anger management, because they're not just talking about anger management and how to manage it in the anger management classes. They're also talking about other emotions that we don't want to deal with: sadness, grief, disappointment, shame, guilt, embarrassment. Those emotions, they sit with us and they rock us a certain way. Anger is all the way at the top. Agitated, frustrated, they in there. But anger is all the way at the top. But the other emotions we don't want to deal with. A lot of people are like, I don't feel like crying. I don't want to cry. And I'm sorry, I tell people, I'll make you cry. I'm going to make you cry. You need to get whatever's in you out. You need a good cry. Later, guaranteed that person that I'm talking to on the phone, they're crying. But I'm walking them through it. What you're getting out now is probably what you had in you for several years. Think about where you were, what you were doing, what was going on. And now they're processing whatever that was. This also saves relationships and avoid escalating conflicts and preserves connections. This is the big one, because a lot of relationships have been disconnected because of feeling stuck and reacting to those emotions, and people getting upset, and the impulsive behaviors happen, and you mess up a good friendship, or you mess up a good support system for you. And since we are creatures of habit, if something happened like that in the past, in your past, oh, that person thought they had one up on me. I don't care if they ever talk to me again. And like I tell my children, when they get a little funky, start smelling themselves, even though they're adults, oh, you don't need me before I need you. And you know what my husband would say? Well, you keep letting them come back. They my kids. I'm supposed to be the adult. I'm supposed to be the change agent. Okay, we had a disagreement. We had an argument. They didn't want to talk to me for a while. All right, fine. But I'm still their mom. Whenever they need me, I'm supposed to be there. But I do tell them, you're gonna need me before I need you. So it saves relationship and it avoids escalating situations. And that conflict is held on anger. So when they see you again, they still got the fact, like I said, from 1999, right? I got some people from 1999. I want to still see them. You'll hold that in your conscious. You don't think about it every day, but as soon as you see that person, then we have a conflict. When we went to middle school, remember you didn't like me and my cousin? I'm like, girl, we grown now. What's wrong with you? That's how it happens. Now, how to stop feeling stuck or stop feeling like you're stuck. The sooner you can free your thoughts, the better you will feel. A lot of people do not like saying they hurt. Someone's hurt me. I'm disappointed. I'm mad at my mom. I'm mad at my dad. I'm mad at my grandma. My brothers and sisters, I didn't connect with them. A lot of people don't like dealing with those feelings. And their mind is be against the world. And I can do without people. Probably so. But the people that you can do without is not the ones you're going to be dealing with in the world. You're going to the grocery store, it's going to be people at the grocery store, people at the movies, people at the mall, people where you work at, people you interact with, people that you do at school. You're interacting with the whole world unless you put yourself in a bubble. You put yourself in a bubble, we're going to want to poke the bubble. That's how America is. What's she knew, he knew. What's the bubble for? Work on different projects. If you can't do what's immediately in front of you, find something else to occupy your thoughts and your energy. That's that thing I say with the pause. Steven, can you go on the side of the refrigerator and get that paper that say pause for me, please? I'm going to let him bring it up here so I can show it to you. But this is a good tactic. So if you talking to a person and you can't get through to them, and they just as stubborn as you, but you can see a light at the end of the tunnel. They just still that's the behavior that they've been giving everybody. And I'm gonna put it to you like this: when they get real nasty and they raise your voice and they start threatening you, and the other people in the family probably bow down to them. Oh, just leave her alone. That's how she is. Or you got that crazy brother. They get nasty with everybody. Oh, leave them there. That's how they are. Stick to your boundaries because the behavior has to change somewhere. Thanks. So I don't know if y'all can see this. It says, practice the pause. When in doubt, pause. When angry, pause. When tired, pause. When stressed, pause. And when you pause, pray. Now I'm gonna tell y'all before I ask God for all the anger and all that stuff out to take it away and remove it. I used to tell people, I just prayed to God and He just saved your life because I was going to tear you up. And they like, what? Yeah, your life was just spared by God. I used to pray like, God, please get them away from me right now because I'm about to snatch them up, Lord. And they like, you okay? Yeah, I just prayed, girl. This works. I'm going to screenshot it and put it on my page. This works. This even works when I'm on the phone because some people be giving me the business. And our calls are recorded. Like the lady today. You don't need to apologize to me. I need to know where my son is. I said, well, ma'am, go back to the program that he was at to see if he's still there. If he's not there, call the hospital, call the jail. I didn't want to tell her to call the morgue. or call 911 to make a missing person report because I can confirm or deny that we're giving him services according to our HIPAA law. She said, well, what if he's out there frozen to death? Ma'am, he probably would have been on the news if they found the body in Philadelphia frozen. Don't apologize. I was like, oh, this lady is getting on my, but she wants to find out where her son is. Read. Because someone else's words of wisdom may give you some new ideas. And when I'm saying read, that's some self-help books. Read some self-affirmations. Read about a technique, like maybe a breathing technique, a meditation technique to get you out of that space. I will not let another person dictate how my day is going to go. And I used to tell everybody when everybody like, I'm gonna match your energy. Yeah, I'm gonna match your energy. I wish you would. I'm gonna match it. But if they got the nasty energy and they are upset, they are irate, they are frustrated, they're agitated, I'm not matching that energy. I don't want to match that because I'm not mad. They mad. So I might need to use a technique like, let me breathe, because and in my mind, again with the lady on the phone, I was like, her son is missing. She's concerned. She's a parent. I didn't ask her how old her son was, but I said, ma'am, according to our policy. And then so I thought when I would apologize to her, like, I apologize. I know you're concerned about your son, but I still can't get you the information. She still was going bananas. So I couldn't let her energy transfer over on me. I just let her finish what she's saying. And she was like, well, goodbye. Have a nice day, ma'am. And I hung the phone up. It's rough. It's hard. It's hard. Listen to your heart. What is it trying to tell you about where you are and what you are attempting to do? That's the procrastination part. And I would say for the procrastination part, if you have a lot that you have to get done and you don't feel like doing it, maybe you're in a depressive state, maybe you're in an anxious state, and you're just procrastinating because you're ruminating on that thought in your mind, that negative thought on your mind. And I ask people when they call me, when they're like, I got a lot going on in my life, I just want to talk, I'm not suicidal. I say, okay, if you can narrow those things down to two important things, what do you want to talk about right now? And they're like, I don't know. Well, what happened today? Did something happen this morning that made you call? Something happened this afternoon? And then they'll give me whatever those things was. And then I'll come back with, well, doesn't sound like you can control everything. So let's go over some things that's in your control and the things that's out of your control. And let's work through this. We can work through this together. Move your body. If you're feeling stuck, get up, walk around the room, pick up your clothes, or do some exercises. It gets the endorphins circulating through the brain. Those endorphins, the dopamine, like what? Yes. When people call me and they say they feel depressed, they can't get out the bed, they don't want to do anything, they don't want to eat, and I'm like, well, where are you now? I'm sitting on the side of my bed. You did something. There was a goal. You completed something. It's the small wins, especially with mental health. It's the small wins that you have to take. If you're depressed, you're sad, you feel incompetent, and you got up this morning, you went in the bathroom, you went and brushed your teeth, you maybe took a shower, and now you downstairs, you did a whole bunch. You just completed some goals because you didn't feel like getting up, you didn't feel like washing, you didn't feel like brushing your teeth, you wanted to stay in the bed, but you got up, did your ADL care, and you got from one level to the next level. The small wins. It's the small wins that we can think about, because some people, when they're in that depressive state, they're calling saying, I didn't want to wake up this morning. I wish I didn't wake up this morning. And that's a passive thought about not wanting to be here. When you're having that thought, I feel stuck. My life's never going to amount to anything. I'm not where I want to be. I wish I didn't wake up this morning. So move your body around, walk around, pick up your clothes. Some people like when they see that their room is changing, the environment changing, there's fresh air coming in the room, and it smells like pine sol. My husband loves the smell of pine sol. I'm a bleach person. But when he's in that state, cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, he'll mop the floor every day downstairs if he could. And we got bamboo flooring. Like, please stop mopping my floor. But that makes him feel good when he's in a state. He's doing something. Number 6 is call a good friend. Hello, Muff. Call a good friend. Hearing the voice of someone you care about and spending a few minutes getting involved in their world can give you a new outlook on yours. That's the number one thing. A good support system. You have a good support system when you're in the state. I'm trying to look at my notes because I know it has some more positive things on here. If you have a good support system, call your support system. That support system is not saying, girl, you need to get rid of that and you need to, disconnect from that person. They're actually listening to you and they probably have some same kind of experiences or relationships, or they just uplift you out of the spot that you're in. A good support system is really, it helps when you're in a rut. They're giving you different perspectives to your situation. When we have a bad situation going on, all we think about is the negative. My job ain't paying me enough money. I had a call out today because I was sick. I got to go get my kid from school. I don't have enough gas money. Your friend be like, well, didn't you put $100 in your pocket, or don't you always save a little money at the side? Because we're so in tune with all the things that's going wrong, we never think about that one positive thing. That friend will spark that up in you. Okay, what was the next one? Okay, it says to break the state of feeling stuck, experts suggest small, manageable steps. Small goals, like I just told you, small goals, day by day, so you get yourself back up to your regular routine. Now, if you're a person that you pile a lot of work on you, and piling a lot of work on you is you're being a yes person. You're telling everybody yes, you're going to be there for them again. We do this because it's a behavior that we're used to. If I'm called and somebody needs my help, I'm going to automatically say yes. Yes, I'll be there. Where you want me to be at? What time? I'll come pick you up. And my husband looking like, we just got to bed. I'm like, all right, you can stay here, but I'm going. And he looking at me like, I'm not going to let you go out there at night. I'm going with you. And the whole time we driving to wherever we got to go, he telling me off. Like, you're going to be late. You're not getting enough rest. Your head's going to be hurting. Your blood pressure going to be off. And he's telling me all the right stuff. But because I was a yes person, as soon as somebody called me, I'm there. But now I'm stressed out. Because I done took their problem on. I took their situation on. And it's not mine. I can't control the problem. I can't control the situation. All I can do is say, how can I help with resources? That's still helping. It's not you placing yourself in the position with that person. Because sometimes when a person has problems, it is heavy on you more than it's heavy on them. I know when one of my brothers was going through some issues, their kids was in DHS. The kids was in DHS and they called me saying, I really need some help. I really need some help. And I'm like, well, I got a 3-bedroom house and you have 2 opposite sexes, so I know they need their own rooms. How am I going to help you? It was so hard for me to say that because I don't want their kids to be in the system. Thank God their kids wasn't in the system. We was able to call another family member and get that under control. I got a 3-bedroom house. How am I going to help you? But because I used to make things happen for everybody, I was supposed to make this thing happen. And let me tell you, when your health starts to fail for someone else, you're not taking care of yourself. That's why they say, how is your well-being? Your well-being is self. How is your well-being? How are you handling the problem that your sister has with her 6 kids? And she always getting fired from her job. And sometimes she got to come sleep on your floor with the kids for about 2 months till she get herself together. How are you handling that? Because now she's putting her problems and her situations onto you. Or how are you handling the substance addiction of a loved one? Or how are you handling a supervisor at work that you know is not your supervisor? How are you handling that? So breaking those things down to small, manageable steps to regain momentum. This is to regain your control. Because remember, feeling stuck, sometimes you feel like everything that you're doing is out of your control. Nothing you do is good. So to regain your momentum, to regain your routine, and that might have to change. Yes, the being saying yes might have to change. The always putting people first before you put yourself first must change. Again, it's not you being selfish. You can't help anybody else if you're not doing well. You can't. You just can't do it. It's not going to last. Practicing self-compassion. Changing your physical state or setting very small, achievable goals. Now, I tell people, there was one time that everybody wanted to do vision boards. And they were a good therapeutic tool to use. In your mind, vision how you see yourself in 2 to 3 years. You're going to get a magazine and you're going to cut these images out that you vision yourself for. And bam, you're going to put them on a board. And step by step, you're going to get to those things in enough time. You get into another crisis, you're not worrying about that board. You want to handle those situations that you're going through right then and there. And that crisis can last for a year. On and off. I like goal mapping. Goal mapping, you already have a map. You already know where you are and you know your destination. Goal mapping consists of small, achievable goals. You have your everyday goal. Every day you got to get up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or maybe on the weekends as well. You might have 2 days off in the week. But every day you got to get up, wash up, brush your teeth, get yourself together, and go to work. Every day. That's a daily goal. Next goal for the day, you might have to take something out for dinner because you got to come home and cook. That's the goal. Completing work at work is a goal because you can do minimum, right? So those are three daily goals, everyday goals that you have. And you have your weekly goals. Maybe you go shopping every week for produce because we do. We can't keep fresh stuff in the house that long. We got to eat it up. So you'll have your weekly goal, laundry, shopping, maybe washing a car. You'll have that goal. So you'll have your weekly goal. Maybe you see your kid, movies with the kids, something every other week. So you'll have that goal. Then you have your monthly goal. Monthly goals is making sure the bills is paid. Everybody got them goals. Make sure your bills is paid. Then you'll have a 3-month goal. 3-month goal is maybe saving a little bit of money for the summertime. So today is February. February, March, April, you're supposed to start saving money for maybe a summer trip. That's the goal. Your 6-month goal is maybe trading in your car for a better make and model. You can't have your year goal down to your 3-month goal because you just went through something. You just either you went through something personally or you went through something personally with somebody else. That car is not important right now. It can't be because you still got the weekly and the daily things. You got to get up to go to work. If you feel stuck, if you're depressed, I don't want to go. You called out. It's okay. You had a mental health day. But if you're attacking those small goals and you're able to see that you're completing something, and I'm telling you guys, I wish I can show you my phone on my in my Google calendar. Everything that I do is in my calendar. You can see it every day. And so I'll have something like reading my Bible is at 8:00 in the morning. I read my Bible, and then I read the devotional in here, and I'll post a prayer. Y'all see the prayer that I post. That's every day at 8:00 in the morning. I do that. Because between that and reading the Bible, I'm praying before I get on the phone line because I never know who's going to call. I'm dealing with death every day. So I don't never know who's going to. I have to have my mind right before I even do that. So that's already there. I can achieve those goals every day. And that is my yearly goal. At the end of the year, I'm going to trade my truck in and get something new. I might want to get the electric car or the gasless car. I'm thinking about it. But if you have those small goals and you can see where I'm at, even if you're in a financial rut, I just spent all this money for hospital bills for the kids, medication, whatever you're in a financial rut about. Maybe with the snow, you couldn't go to work for almost 3 days, so you're not getting paid. You're in a financial rut in your mind. I'm going to say, now that you're stressed out, you're thinking, I might have to do 2 doubles. Or I might have to do DoorDash or something like that to get that money back. But then I would say one of the small goals is, again, to put some money up for a rainy day because you never know what's going to happen. And I taught my kids that. And it can be the change. Once you go to the store and you're getting change back to the store, put the change in a jar. Put all your change in a jar. It can be the dollars. Just to tell my daughter, just put, if you go, again, mall, store, whatever you did for that day, you have dollars in your pocket and your purse, take all the dollars out your purse and put them away. By the end of the month, you'll have a rainy day. Now you put that in your savings account. Now you're starting to build something up. Now you can't see the light at the tunnel because you can't spend that money yet. But at least you have something that's building up and you feel positive about it. Because being in a financial rut, feeling stuck in your mind, I'm about to lose my house. They're going to come take my car. I can't feed my kids. What am I going to do? But you can go to that jar and see the change building up in that jar. You can go to wherever you have your money at and see how much money you have and it's coming. And then you're still back at work. Something's still happening. You're still moving. There's an article on ways to get unstuck. I'm going to post a link in the chat. I'm going to also post some more, some other things how you can get unstuck in the chat. It's also oh goodness. There's a little a picturesque that has other bullet points on there for feeling stuck, or for somebody that's that's stuck. My main thing to say is you can get out of that state of mind. You just have to recognize that you're having an issue or problem. Also, you're going to have to recognize that you may need help with the situation. Sometimes us being stuck or feeling stuck is because we don't think nobody can help us. Or we're too embarrassed to say what's going on. Because again, we those people that's been raised, what happens in this house, stay in this house. Don't tell nobody your business. But if you have your good support people, again, they probably was in that same situation, and this is how they got out, or they probably can listen to you And it can feel it's better to be in out you than in you. Keep all that in. Keep all that inside. So recognizing that you feel that way, not that it's depression, not that it's anxiety, not that it's none of the mental health things, but feeling stuck and staying that way will get you into having almost becoming to what we used to call a mental breakdown, a mental health breakdown. And then that's when the depression and then anxiety and then the self-medicating and all those things come into. What this show is about is stopping those things before they become a big flame. It can be prevented. And if you have the depression and if you have the anxiety, how are you going to be able to deal with it and cope with it every single day? Because having depression and anxiety is just like having diabetes and high blood pressure. They all get treated. It's just a thing that you're dealing with the mental, the cognitive. The rest is dealing with the physical body. So I'm going to post the pause. I'm going to post the pause on a page. I'll write it out, type it out. I'll post the article about ways to get unstuck, and it's really, really, really good. The article is really good. It's really easy to read. And then next week's topic is unheard cries, living with hidden scars. We're going to be dealing with trauma, all sorts of trauma. I'm going to be talking about. So that might be a part 2 or part 3 series depicting on how I'm going to categorize it for next week. Again, I'm still trying to get one of my people on. We're just so busy. It's just we're busy. I'm trying to get someone to come on. Not next week because they just got back from vacation and I don't want to rush them in because I know when I come back from vacation, it takes me probably a week to get readjusted to going back to work. Like I gotta go right back to work. Ugh. So I'm trying to give them some time to be adjusted to coming back. I guess that's it, guys. And TikTok, I'm not on it yet. My little pad, my little tablet that I bought is not acting right. TikTok was not acting right on there. So I'm trying to get my people on TikTok to tune in as well. That's my time, guys. You ready, Miss Carter? I'm going to come get you one day. I'm going to come get you. Oh, Miss Lopez, you and Miss Carla, your packages should be coming. Today is Wednesday. Hopefully Saturday or Monday because the mail is actually backed up. The mail is backed up. I don't think they did a mail run for two or 3 days with the snow. So it's actually backed up. But they are coming. Your packages are coming, I guarantee you. All right, guys, that's the end of my show. My name is Kimble Evans. You have been on the Trap Lounge, and I'm a Trap Therapist. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night, guys. Come on.